As you can all see, I play the tenors in the marching band. I love my tenors, and since it's my first year playing them, I always kind of feel pressured to do well. Because of this, it comes as no surprise that I don't like people touching my drums. Not only does it make me uncomfortable, but it's really annoying, and it could damage them. Today I'm going to talk about what this pet peeve is, when it has occurred, and what I can do to prevent it. To start out, my pet peeve is when people touch, hit, or play my drums, but you already knew that. I know it seems a little silly to be overprotective of some tenors, but imagine someone coming up to you and smacking your Chromebook as hard as they could on a daily basis. That's kind of the same thing when it comes to people touching my drums. Not only could they be damaged, but I could be blamed for damaging them. Of course, I wouldn't have to pay for it, but it does cost a lot of money for the band, and it takes a while to get the required parts to fix it. There are 5 drums on a set of tenors, and one of those drums is called the Spock. The Spock is the smallest drum, and frankly, it's the most annoying. This is what people tend to do. This pet peeve happens all the time. Like any other class, I have to go to marching band every single day. I don't mind it most days, but lugging around tenors that weigh about 20 to 35 pounds during 8th period can get tiresome. I actually just learned how much they weighed from PearlDrummers.com. Of course, having 3-hour practices once a week and then a class every day gives a lot of people a lot of opportunities to attack me. I can be talking to a friend, or I can be practicing a hard measure in my music when suddenly all I hear is this. There was one time during a practice where this guy came up to me. He didn't say anything, but without breaking eye contact, he just tried to hit as many drums as he could before I could chase him away. A little while later, a senior came up to me and tried to do the exact same thing. And of course, I chased him away too. By the end of practice, these two had come up to me repeatedly, and finally I just asked one of them why. He told me that they were in a competition to see how many drums they could hit without being chased away. Although looking back on it, it seems kind of funny, but at the time it was 9 o'clock at night, I still had a lot of homework and no study hall the next day. So of course, I was just a little salty with them. Whenever they came up, I prepared myself to do something, like hit them back. There are a couple different ways that I can prevent people from touching my drums, none of which are very good ways, but they work sometimes. I always have a pair of sticks in my hand, so whenever someone comes up to me and tries to touch one of the drums, I may or may not try to hit them. But I rarely use this method. Normally, I just put my drums in the upright position and hold on to them for dear life. However, there is one instance where I am allowed to hit people who try to touch my drums. Whenever me or anyone else in drumline are at a football game or an event with a lot of people, we're given permission to defend ourselves. There have been countless times where I've had to swing my arms farther to drive people away from me. Normally, really obnoxious people try to do this, and most of the time I'm able to drive them away. However, I've kind of faced the fact that there's no way to solve this problem. They can't be stopped. But I digress. In short, I really dislike it when people touch my drums. Not only can people damage them, but it's just downright annoying to have people constantly touching your things. By touching my drums, I will immediately have an undying hate towards you. Now you all know that my pet peeve is when people hit my drums, as well as the fact that this happens every single day. So instead of going out of your way to hit them, please just either ask or don't hit my drums at all. Preferably, please choose the second option.